By now, we all know who Ferdinand Omanyala is, and if you don't know who he is, you are definitely at the right place. He's been running first times in the world, but with no title at hand. He ran his first sub-10 in a small meet in Andorf, Austria, a time of 9.96 seconds. An hour later, he broke the record to a 0.1 of a second to 9.86 seconds. That same year, Ferdinand Omanyala ran the second fastest and the 9th fastest time ever in the history of track and field. Here are 4 reasons as to why Omanyala had to win the Commonwealth Games no matter what. The first reason is, he is the fastest man in Africa. Omanyala was not only representing himself, but he was carrying the whole African continent on his back to represent at the Commonwealth Games. Being the fastest man with a time of 9.77 seconds and ranked number 9 in the world all time. The other 8 not being from Africa, he had no choice but to win the said title. This year alone, Omanyala has broken the 60-meter title 3 times and also defeated other African kings in their own soil, not to mention but destroyed them in front of the fans. The second reason why Omanyala had to win the Commonwealth Games is that he was the second fastest man in the year 2021, behind Trevor Bromell with a time of 9.77 seconds. Bromell had a time of 9.76 seconds. The year 2022, he was the fastest on the planet, posting a world lead for about 6 months, a time of 9.86 seconds, after he defeated Fred Curley on home soil at the Cape Kano Classics, until Fred Curley ran the fastest time, a time of 9.76 at the USATF trials in Oregon a month later. Being the second fastest man in the world with no title at hand, you won't get any respect, and that's why he had no choice at the games finals. The third reason as to why Omanyala had to win the Commonwealth Games is that at the World Championships that were held in Oregon, even though Fred Curley did not defeat Omanyala, he won the world title, his first gold at the event in the 100 meters. Remember, Omanyala defeated Curley at home soil, and Curley won the world title 2022 in Oregon. Omanyala did not get to the finals. I don't know how it would have turned out to be between the two horses had Omanyala arrived on time and acclimatized with the weather, but also remember, Omanyala arrived 3 hours to the race and still managed to get to the semi-finals. Same hit with Marcel Jacobs, even though Marcel chickened out. So for Curley to have won the world title, Omanyala also had a good shot at the title, considering he defeated Curley at the Cape Kano Classics, and the winning time was slower than the time he defeated him with. If Omanyala was in the shape he was back in May, then maybe, just maybe, he would have the title on his sights at the world. Reason number 4 as to why Omanyala had to win the Commonwealth Games is that the first and only Sri Lankan to ever compete at the Diamond League was present at the finals. Yupun Abikun was the first Asian sprinter to defeat Omanyala, having been the 3rd fastest Asian ever. He also has a personal best of 20.3 at the 200 meters set this season. The 27-year-old upcoming sprinter has broken his own country's record 3 times in the 100 meters and ran his first sub-10 a month prior to the games. The fifth reason as to why Omanyala had no choice but to win the Commonwealth Games is that he defeated the second fastest man in Africa. He first smashed and took the African record away from Akani Simbine last year, 2021, which was a time of 9.85 seconds to 9.77 seconds. And in March, at the national event in South Africa, Omanyala won in front of Simbine's home crowd. At the African Championships, they were head-to-head to the finish line, which was determined by the electronic clock. But at the Commonwealth Games in Birmingham, Simbine was no match for Igo. Had Omanyala from the blocks, took off like a rocket, and that was it. I mean, that's it. The race was done in 10.02 seconds. Without a doubt, Omanyala has no reason to lose the Commonwealth Games, considering this time he arrived at the village a week before compared to the 3-hour difference at the World Championships. Also, he had enough time to rest and get acquainted with the weather. And being the fastest man in Africa, running his first sub-10 seconds, and being the second fastest in the world after Trevor Bromell in 2021, being the fastest in 2022, he needed to get titles. And with titles comes respect, sponsors, and of course, more money, moolah, Benjamins. And that's why his first title ever was the African champion at the 22nd African Championships in Mauritius, whereby they also, thus his country, Kenya, became the African champions at the 4x100 meters relays. In just 2 months, he won his second title, the Commonwealth Games champion in Birmingham at the 100 meters, becoming the first Kenyan to win at the particular event. That's all, folks. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to your favorite track and field channel. And as always, see you in the next. Peace.